Hi everybody, how you doing? I'm Pabs, the rising VTuber and an artist, and today we're going to be working on some character design. So if you've been here before, you know that I do this thing every now and again to, just as a kind of small time flex, I will do a character design in a very short amount of time using randomized emojis. So as you can see, I haven't picked the emojis just yet because, again, they're randomized. Picked as an odd word to use in that context. Let me blow up the screen a little bit so you can see a little better. Oh, hey, Cypress, how you doing? All right. Here we go. Push the button. Let's see the winners. Okay, this this is bad. Oh, this is. I was hoping for an underarm throw this time around, but let's see what we got. We got dude running, somebody sneezing or blowing their nose, and the fucking welcome to Night Vale desert landscape shot. All right. Well, I like a challenge. Let's get this done. All right, let's take that away. Dude is allergic to sand. I don't like sand. It's coarse, gets everywhere, and I need like 50 EpiPens whenever I visit a nearby beach or desert location. God, okay. Dude who's allergic to sand. That paints such a vivid image. I Dude who's allergic to sand is to me like very much a real person. Like, I don't even need to imagine dude who's allergic to sand. Like, I feel like I could visualize him. I feel like I already know that man. Okay, so yes, me. All right, where do we even begin with you? All right, so I'm thinking, so running, right? Jogging character, dude who enjoys long jogs. Dude, oh god, running and the sneezing thing reminds me of this one fucking thing I did. All right, so back in middle school, I was in the track and field team, and no, it wasn't a track team. No, it wasn't a track team. I was in track and field in high school. In middle school, guys who look like the hardened gunslinger with a heavy poncho and hat, but is about to protect them from the sand. Oh, actually, yeah. Okay. Hang on. We can do a little bit of all of this. Hang on. All right. So in like middle school, last years of elementary school, first couple years of middle school, I was in the long distance running cross country club. That's the one. I was in the cross country club because we needed to choose a sports elective. Hang on. Courier Zelda. For some reason, I'm imagining that one postage guy from Mail Guy Zelda. This dude. For some reason, it reminds me a lot of this dude. The image in my mind. But anyway, I was in the cross country club, and I was sick one time. I had a small cold, I believe. Something was wrong, and I was like, I was all gross and snotty and whatnot. But I still had track and field club, and if I missed, like, I think if it was that either they were like, nah, you're good to run. Like, I was like, guys, I can't go today, and they're like, but you're already here. So they made me run while I still had a cold. And that's not the funny part of the story. The funny part of the story is that in the middle, so like, if you don't know what cross country running is, it just means like really long distance running. And obviously, you need to breathe through your nose as much as you breathe through your mouth during those. Yeah, run the sickness out of your body. Some soldier TF2 should, right? So they were like, "Nah, you're good to go." But the thing is, as far as I was aware, you're supposed to breathe through your nose for most of the time during cross country, right? You can breathe through your mouth some of the time, right? But it'll tucker you out faster. It's not good for longer distances. So I was trying to breathe through my nose. That didn't work. I tried to breathe through my mouth. It was like almost winter, so like the dry air was hurting my lungs. So I was like, all right, this is an unsustainable situation. So what I did is that I grabbed some leaves off the ground, used them to blow my nose, and I was good to go. I just kept running normally. To this day, I sincerely believe that's the most unhinged thing I've ever done. Just like our ancestors would have. But yeah, God, I almost forgot that happened. But seeing this emoji combination, it all came back at once. You know, a lot of people will talk about what their ancestors would think of their modern lives. I don't feel like my ancestors would have any particularly strong opinions. My ancestors, I feel like most of my ancestors would be like, "Oh, yeah, that's what you're doing? Ah, cool, cool." Like some people come from like a legacy or something that I feel like that's like the whole what would our ancestors be thinking comes from people who believe that they have some kind of legacy to maintain. But as far as I'm aware, I don't really have a legacy. I think one of my ancestors was like one of the first firefighters in Ecuador, but like I'm not gonna become a firefighter, I don't think. And that wasn't even like an ancestor. That was like I don't know. When you say ancestor, how far back do you think in terms of generations removed? Because when I say ancestors, I'm picturing like dudes in the medieval era. The other day, I learned that every 1 in 200 people across the planet has a direct lineage to Genghis Khan. Man, fucked. Yeah, no, Genghis Khan was a lot of things, but first and foremost, he was a dude who fucked. I remember reading that as well. That Genghis Khan just has an ungodly amount of, I'm gonna say, genetic clout in the global community. That's a story I'd like to see in a sci-fi setting. We accidentally revived Genghis Khan from some kind of genetic brain ghost because just so many people share his DNA. Yeah, fuck whatever new isekai is hot in this anime season. That's a manga I want to see. Put Genghis Khan in a Gundam. Didn't Now I've never seen any Gundam series, but I feel like that would have if that were to ever happen, that would have happened in G Gundam. All right. The thing about these proportions look way off. Hmm. It's been too long. I don't remember all the stereotypes for G Gundam. I remember the windmill one. I remember my buddy Preston told me about the windmill Gundam and the tequila Gundam. I don't remember any. I don't know any other ones. I also know that the main character's mentor figure was called Master Asia. That's all. That is the extent of my knowledge. Yeah, the windmill one and the tequila Gundam. Yeah. So I'm looking up a couple references, right? So there's this. I think there was this cryptid called like the cactus cat or something. Hang on, cactus cat. Wikipedia. Oh, here's a better image of it. This thing. Yeah, the cactus cat is a legendary, fearsome critter of the American Southwest. The cactus cat was generally described as being a bobcat-like creature, covered in hair-like thorns, with particularly long spines extending from the legs and its armored, branching tail. The creature was said to use its spines to slash cacti at night. allowing juice to run from the plants. On later nights, the creature was said to return to drink the now fermented juice. So this thing is kind of awesome. The then drunk creature was said to howl throughout the night. The cactus cat was a very hostile creature toward any animal in its territory. Animals that crossed him often ended up with large puncture wounds and sometimes fatal injuries. It was a desert predator. To avoid the harsh heat, they'd carve out the inside of a cactus and sleep through the day. It would eat the bugs and the juice of the cactus, keeping it hydrated. They were said to be immune to scorpion venom and would hunt them at night. Citation needed. It's always fucking funny whenever there's a Wikipedia article about like a cryptid or something that just straight up doesn't exist, and then it has the gall to say citation needed. Yeah, I fucking bet it needs a citation. Cactus Cat versus Chupacabra is the Godzilla versus Kong of South America. Honestly, I think the Cactus Cat has a chance. I don't think it's a hydrogen bomb versus cuffing baby situation at all. I think the Cactus Cat has a fighting chance. You know why? So Chupacabra, the Chup of Cabra, pure offense. Pure offense, 100% pointed to offense. Glass cannon, though. Chupacabra isn't used to being the biggest, baddest motherfucker around. It has never felt the fear of being hunted. But the Cactus Cat doesn't give a shit about being hunted. The Cactus Cat doesn't care if you're the Chup of Cabra. The Cactus Cat will square up to anybody, extremely hostile to any creature in its territory. That's what it said. So you've got this half-drunk bobcat motherfucker squaring up to what I think was supposed to be like some kind of wolf creature. And the Cactus Cat has a bunch of natural spikes and defenses that would end up mauling the Chupacabra even if it tried to suck its blood. I think the Cactus Cat got it. I think they've got a chance. Let me take a look at the Chupacabra. Oh, okay. Hang on. All right. Artist's rendition of the Chupacabra. Reptilian, perhaps. Initial sightings and accompanying descriptions. All right, here we go. Physical descriptions of the creature vary. So in Puerto Rico and Latin America, it is generally described as a heavy creature, reptilian and alien-like, roughly the size of a small bear and with a row of spines reaching from the neck to the base of the tail. I always pictured the Chupacabra as being mammalian rather than the reptilian. I guess because I expected it to drink blood. I expected it to drink blood. Yeah, exactly. A lot of defense. The Chupacabra is not used to the matchup. I think the main factor which would decide whether or not the Cactus Cat has got it is the actual size of the Chupacabra. Because if it is like the size of a small bear, I do fear that the Chupacabra would not be deterred by any of the natural defenses. All right. So here's my first thought. Snot coming out of the nose. Because we do have to introduce virulence one way or another through here. Oh, hello. Strength of protein and fiber bowl of white rice. Hero Pabs Art. How you doing? How's it going? How you been doing today so far? I am doing good. Hello. Love the energy. Love the energy. How you doing? How you doing, Troublesome Trucks? Yeah, we were looking at some cryptids. And also drawing a sick dude who... Wait, no, hang on. All right, so gas masks, though. Like, some kind of... I want to say, is there some kind of machine capable of reducing the amount of sickness? So a sort of medical respirator or something. that can. Hmm. The sex sucker. Actually, you know what? Let's just give him a normal mask. You know, we've been wearing the things for the past, what, 5 years? Wait, no. It hasn't been 5 years already. It's been 3 years, I think. All right, so Cactus Cat, this dude from Zelda, and these three emojis. So, going okay so far. Extremely tiresome. Hot, warm, boiling rice milk went to sleep quicker than Snickler Doodles. Very nice. Sounds like you're all tucked in there, then. It's good to have you. Yeah, I've also been experimenting with my food intake a little bit recently. I've been I've mentioned this before. I got a gum graft, and I have been doing much better now. But I've been doing a little bit of experimentation with my diet, and right now I'm trying out those like soy-based meal replacement supplement thingies. Yeah, no, I am actually feeling very good. The doctor who did it was very skilled. I went to get my sutures out. They said like you've been healing unnaturally fast, so that was a nice boost to the ego. I bet they say that to all the pretty rice bags, but you know, it's still nice to know that you've been doing good, right? All right, so we're gonna have. I think like the only part of this design that I'm gonna be insistent on is the 2-inch inseam shorts for this guy. I will have this dude being in very slutty men's shorts. Okay. I think right now is a good time to do like stream of consciousness, right? So just go in there and draw whatever comes to mind first, and then we'll see whether it works or it doesn't. All right, so hmm. Am I gonna end up making a Catboy? Perhaps. Perhaps. So because the cactus cat gets wasted off the fermented cactus water, I'm almost picturing this dude as a sort of drunken master type thing. What if we just gave him the rattiest fucking Birkenstocks you've ever set your eyes upon, and he wears them with socks? This can work. We're gonna make this person a mess. I need to put this person in the worst situation of their life, fashion wise. I'm hoping that it'll be a sort of situation where I try to do everything wrong and yet it ends up right. Okay. Maybe almost like a singlet kind of thing going on. Beware the catboy sprinter that sprints at night. The sick catboy sprinter seems to ferment his juice at night. Yeah. Runner's physique, right? We talk a lot about a runner's physique. They generally have very lean musculature. Very thick wrist things, I think. Yeah. If I recall correctly, the cactus cat thing came about as a myth because somebody saw a bobcat hanging out on top of a cactus for some reason. Hang on, let me check this. Yeah, weirdly enough, the Wikipedia article doesn't talk about the origins of the cactus cat, which leads me to believe it's a real animal, a sort of self-evident truth, if you will. Yeah, I was talking about the soy meal replacement things that I've been trying out. I actually have a bottle full of it in front of me. I'm going to take sips from it periodically instead of water this time around. Don't know if you heard that. That I just took a sip of my delicious, weirdly not bad tasting. I do think that it actually tastes fairly good. Very strong vanilla flavor. All right. You know something that I've been wondering, right? When it was the pandemic, so I guess this is more on me for not being able to see more furry art during the pandemic. What did furries do for the mask thing during the pandemic period? Because normally masks kind of hook around. Well, no, you can hook up masks around with like a clip or something. But did they just have normal furries wearing masks without any kind of edits? I feel like they would have. I feel like there's a lot of different and interesting ways you could approach that problem. I remember when we were still kind of like in the middle of the pandemic. I ran into one of my neighbors, and he said that he had a mask with vertical straps on, and I assumed that to be like a sort of Bane from The Dark Knight Rises kind of situation, where it went almost like over his eyes, like this kind of thing. Just longer straps that reach up around the ears. Ah, makes sense. Okay. But this dude is running around in the desert, right? So I'm actually thinking some kind of UV blocking technology. So I'm thinking kind of Princess Mononoke style chest guards with spikes on them for the Cactus Cat rep. And I kind of want to incorporate the spiky ears question mark. These do seem to be where the ears would be. See, yeah, I think they might be some kind of cactus fruit, but it's supposed to be their ears. Hang on, we can work with those. We can work with those. Actually, I was thinking about making them into dreads or something, but or like some kind of 4C adjacent hair. But we could have some kind of saguaro cactus esque head situation going on up here. That's the case. And actually, you know what? I am going to commit to the bit and do the full Catboy design, I think. I am, however, going to give him 4 pairs of ears. Because I'm a sick freak like that. God, I love learning about I love learning about, they're not exactly fearsome. They're not exactly cryptids. There's a subcategory of folklore animal called fearsome critters that I love to learn about. Right, so they're not quite on the level of cryptids, but they come from a lot of like, camp tales, right? They're not particularly serious. They're not kind of like they don't have the same kind of credibility, which is a fun word to throw around when you're talking about things that don't exist. The same kind of credibility as, cryptids. Yeah, so for example, here's another one. Here's one from the Wikipedia article. The Hugag. A fearsome critter similar to a moose with an extensive upper lip, preventing it from grazing, and jointless legs, preventing it from lying down. They really said, we're going to make up a beast that is in such a situation. This is a Dr. Seuss thing? Well, I can't deny that. God. If it tried a method of feeding, it would simply tramp its upper lip into the dirt. Its head and neck are leathery and hairless. It has strangely corrugated ears, and they flop downward. It has four-toed feet, a long bushy tail, a shaggy coat, and general makeup give the beast an unmistakably prehistoric appearance. According to who? According to who is this supposed to be a prehistoric appearance? Oh god, Chupacabra jump scare. Fuck, that actually scared me a little bit. I forgot I had Chupacabra open. I can't let myself have windows open when I stream. I get jump scared every single time. Yeah, this beast was made to suffer. Wasn't there... Hang on. I remember there were like these backpacks that had water in them. Well, not water bottles, but they had some kind of water sippy cup thingy coming out of them. I do wonder if I can't just do something like that right around here. Alright, and then we're going to have a mask on. May like really... Alright, what kind of eyes does this thing have? Very narrow ones. So, they're just like... Is the cactus cat giving us the side eye? It kind of feels like it is. Oh, hairy legs. I should also give this dude hairy legs. Alright. Oh, hey, you can see a second one back here. Probably scratching up a tree. Didn't even notice that one. Okay. So, very strong design ethos so far, but I feel like we could probably emphasize some of the stuff a little bit better. So, first of all, is there such a thing as desert running as a sport? Oh my god, there is. Check this out. These people are trying to run 155 miles through the Sahara. Good luck. Oh, this one's kind of cool. And hey, yeah, this dude's got that water bottle backpack that I was talking about. This thing. Yeah, I know. Running in the desert would usually kill you, is the thing. Look at this dude. Just in the hands of God. Just deciding, all right, this dude looks, I think out of the 3 or 4 people we've seen, this dude looks the least prepared. This dude has booties on top of booties because he's afraid that it's going to melt his shoes. Or I don't know, the sand will sting him or something. There's a lot of good reasons to wear booties in the desert. I think this dude also has something like that, yeah. I'm guessing that's also to prevent sand from getting in the shoe. There's gotta be like multi-purpose reasons for them. Heat would melt the shoes, sand irritation, also snake bites. Snake bites would be a great concern to me, running through the Sahara. I mean, I don't know. You got some of these dudes apparently raw dogging it. Let's just no. This dude's also wearing booties. And then in the midst of all this, we have these two birds. I mean, those are some very cool birds. I do like that. I feel like these look like a refined, stately couple walking through their grounds. You know, I feel like these two have a certain air of elegance. Yeah, this is what happens to the courier if you decide to just not take any clothes out of Good Springs. Although this does give me ideas for the second draft, right? Which is good. Which is what we wanted. All right, so let's get rid of some of these. So lower the opacity on this. So maybe instead of having just the arm warmers, well, you arm sleeves, right? We also have, very similar to this guy, some kind of vest that goes under the singlet here. This design is gonna look surprisingly cyberpunk, I think. I'm just throwing everything in there. What's this dude got on him? Birds. All right. I want to say there looks to be some. I can't tell whatever the hell any of these are. The thing is, I would put any of these things. I mean, this one looks like a radio, right? Like this part here looks like some kind of walkie-talkie or something. This could easily be a water bottle, and I wouldn't know because water bottles have such weird designs sometimes. All right, we'll make like a breathable mesh right here, and then the arm warmer is just gonna be normal. And of course, we gotta have the cactus cat spikes back here. I do like the big sweatbands here. But yeah, we can have a walkie-talkie in one of these pockets. Okay. Oh yeah. Speaking of made-up creatures, I heard that apparently Neopets is kind of on an upswing recently. I thought they died in some kind of combination garbage dump fire because the main people behind it went into crypto investment, and then at the same time Flash shut down, so half of their games were unavailable now. But it turns out that they were still alive and kicking for some time. To be honest, I tried to be into Neopets. Like six of my friends, like six different people that I knew growing up, were into Neopets to some extent. So I also tried to get into it, but I just never got the hang of it. I felt like I'm one of those people who never gets the hangs of like Tamagotchis or other kind of virtual pets of that kind, because I feel like it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of commitment, a lot of stress that I didn't need in my life. for a thing that I also did not particularly enjoy. Yeah. I do know some people have a lot of fond memories with Neopets, though. In particular, I always remember the Neopets forum snapshots that I see floating around on Tumblr every now and again. My favorite one definitely has to be this one where a dude is like, wow, you are all freaks. I don't respect literally any of you people. I think that, along with like, if it sucks, hit the bricks, is a good way to realize that if you're not having fun in a specific space, you can just go. Yeah, that's something that I've gotten better at realizing, right? That if even if I felt like I was supposed to enjoy something, if I'm not having fun with it, I don't need to enjoy it. I don't need to enjoy it. If I feel like I need to experience it, just get in there, experience it, and get out. Yeah, I've been getting a lot better with that. I think the most recent example is Killer 7. Fuck, I hated Killer 7, the gameplay. Killer 7, the story was not much more enjoyable for me. Like, Killer 7 is definitely a. Artistically, it's a great idea and it's a good idea, but I think, like, in my personal experience, playing Killer 7 was just really, really difficult from beginning to end, and I did not have a lot of fun with it. I think the most fun I had with Killer 7 was the Andre Almeida chapters, because those had a lot of interesting stuff that was much easier to follow than the normal storyline. As an artistic decision, I immensely admire the idea that you can just let shit happen in your story and not really give an explanation for it. I think Killer 7 is the ultimate show don't tell, because whenever it tries to tell you something, whatever it says is usually a lie, that or outright stupid. And this is on purpose. I feel most of the time. I don't know, maybe I didn't get it. Maybe I just didn't get it, but I tried to like Killer 7. I really did, but I didn't. Shit happens. I think next I'm going to try playing the Killer Case File. There has to be one title in the Kill the Past series that I connect to on a personal level. There has to be. It's such an interesting thesis and has so many interesting things to say. Not all of them can be this difficult to get through, right? One of them has to be digestible for a ding dong like me. But yeah, I did beat Killer 7. I think the week that I took off, I think during the weekend, I ended up beating that game. I remember doing it recently. I don't remember if this was before or after the gum graft. Yeah. I realized a lot, like, very early on in this year, I had a lot of administrative bullshit happening to me. And it's only, like, until, like, since last month that any of that has cleared up. You know, I say pretty private about that because I want to keep the vibe good. But that bullshit really had me on the edge of my seat for a while there. And the thing is, that basically made me lose out on half a year. But on the other hand, I don't know how to put it. Like, I feel like it's important to have those experiences so you have a better might not be the right word, a different appreciation for the time you have. Right? Like, if you realize, oh my god, I've lost half a year on this, you get more motivated to experience more things. Like I'm planning on attending a live pro wrestling event that's happening in near where I live for the first time in my life after I've been for years kind of threatening to do it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Actually, you know what would kind of go hard on this dude? Sun hat. And that's what the cactus is going to be. We'll still have holes for the cat ears. BT dubs. No need to worry, those ain't going nowhere. Although I do want to make them spikier. There we go. Excuse me, I gotta go close my window real quick. I'll be right back. There we go. Yeah. I need to learn to close my window in the evenings now. Not because mosquitoes get in or anything. I remember one time in university, I had my. Oh my god, am I making Desert Jammy Rokai? No, it couldn't be. That dude's wearing a full body sweater. He would never make it in the desert. Desert Jammy Rokai isn't real. He can't hurt you. I also need to be careful to make sure that this doesn't end up looking like some kind of Tony Chopper situation where the hat is actually antlers. Let me pull back up the Cactus Cat reference because that one had a good ass cactus in there. There we go. And let's give it the cactus hat a rounded top. I do wonder how if I should try to incorporate the sneezing thing a little bit better because I gave him a mask and called it a day. Maybe I should make this dude into some kind of EMT or something. Yeah, some kind of desert EMT. I think that'd be kind of cool, actually. You know, they have dudes who look out for could have tears streaming from his face. The sentimental desert runner. We are making the guy of all time out here. We are cooking such a new and interesting type of dude. I don't think the world might be ready for this. Such an emotionally vulnerable yet steadfast human being. Catboy, man. That's how I feel every time I sneeze. Oh man, you know what I just thought about? What if okay, so you know how there are like those snow rescue dogs, right? Like those Saint Bernards which have the mountain dog. Mountain rescue, yeah. Those Saint Bernard dogs who have like brandy bottles around their neck. You're not supposed to drink brandy when you're in the cold, by the way. It just makes you stop feeling the cold. It doesn't actually warm you up. Or so I've heard. What if this dude was kind of like that, but like for dinguses who got lost in the desert? So we can give him like a barrel of water back here. The complete opposite of an Arctic rescue dog. Yeah, the desert rescue Catboy. And you know what? I'm gonna give him kind of bushy caterpillar eyebrows as well to complement the cactus look. All right, let me take a look at those desert running shoes again. Yeah, these ones in particular. Let me get a look at those fresh Sahara J's. All right. So we got two different cinches. We got one nearer to the top of the calf, and we got one seems to have a cinch just above the ankle. Yeah. So right around this one would actually be lower. They remind me of those like aerobic leg warmers that you used to see a lot. Yeah, nice big kind of moon boot ones. And it would make sense to have wider shoes for running through the desert. I imagine that, like with snow, you'd want to have more surface area to step on if you're running through sand. Yeah. I remember when I was visiting like a beach resort one time, I wanted to go for a jog in the morning just cuz. And my dad told me that I should try to avoid making a habit of running on sand because, in addition to the fact that it's not something that we have available regularly, if you run on sand, apparently it's like much tougher on your knees than just regular running. Which I found interesting. I don't think a lot of people run in the snow, so that doesn't seem to be a similar problem. Who am I kidding? People will run anywhere just because they can, which is wonderful. And as somebody who doesn't like running very much, kind of confusing. I don't know. Sometimes I do get the zoomies, right? I do want to just like break out into a sprinter from time to time, but I'm not one of those dudes that's like, oh yeah, I love running. That ain't me. Running on sand is actually something recommended if you want to go into boxing, since it focuses on increasing the strength in your ankles and toes from faster micro movements. Huh. I know. Yo, this dude got the Crocs on strapped to his backpack. What the? Hold on. I was looking for the water bottle. What? Huh? Oh, no. No, wait. No, hang on. Pause. This changes everything. I could have given this dude Crocs the whole time. Does this dude have Crocs? He has flip flops. Man's got flip flops in there. Oh my god, is this just a thing? Do these dudes just have like spare off road Crocs that they, or like open toed shoes that they just fall back on? What the fuck? Okay, the water thing needs to have a kind of like reach over here. That shook me to my very core. I was not expecting to see Crocs in any of the contexts. In any context today. Good. I feel scared. I feel like I just saw a ghost in like a family photograph or some shit. What are you doing out there, man? Alright, I'm gonna make this leg slightly shorter. Now it's time to play one of my least favorite games. Is it perspective or am I just cooking onto nothing? I think I need to make this front leg bigger as well. I think that'll really tie everything together. Perspective, or do I have the proportions wrong? Exactly, bro. If I just exaggerate the other parts, I think I can get away with it. Wait a minute, I have pose references. I don't need to do this nonsense. Alright, put these back. Put these back real quick. Because we have the actual design now on lock, more or less. Hang on. Where? Alright, pose. Run. Sprint. Alright, let's do sprint. Flip this around. There we go. And maybe exaggerate the motions a little bit more. Okay, no, that's already as far back as it goes. Alright. How about this bad boy? Alright. Let's see. I need to make sure to leave enough room for the hat. Okay, you know, I was on the right track. I just needed to do a little bit extra work. But that's fine. We have the design now. Let me just all right. There we go. All right. So here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to put the design over here where I can refer back to it at any time. I am actually really happy with how this is coming along. Let's see. All right, so here's how we're gonna do. All right. And you know what? Let's make the proportions on the mannequin a little bit goofier as well. You know, just to have some fun with it. Yeah, look, let's increase the length. Oh God. Oh, they should not have let me do this. Dude's a skip leg day. I do like the idea of him just having absurdly long legs. All right, we can play around a little bit more with that space. You know what? While we're at it, let's give the dude some lankier arms too. A little bit of more neck. Oh yeah. Now saying that this is right feels like a strange statement to make when I've gone against every law of nature. But I do think it looks good. So what the hell? Alright, let's lift this leg up just a tiny bit higher. And just a little bit more outward. There we go. Reminded me of how 3D animators break models, bones, and poses all the time for good camera shots. Yeah, that is true. The one that I remember most for that one is for one of the JoJo openings, how they had, I don't remember if it was Joseph or Caesar's arms or torsos just absolutely effed up and contorted. Yeah. It is cool though, you know, as long as it looks good. I think there's really nothing holding you back from making as many silly and broken poses as you want. Okay. And then yeah, can I like real quick just try to have like I'm gonna Frankenstein together the reference a little bit because the torso's fine. The only thing that needs work is the arms and the legs. Let's see. All right, just grabbing this. All right, so we're gonna break the pose a little bit more. Get a little silly with it. This is absolutely not good running form, but it does look good. Okay, put this here. Put this over here. There we go. Then over here. Okay, we need to shrink the head just a tiny bit. And move it up along the neck. Oh wow, we are just under the upper size limit of the canvas for the head there. All right, let's use the liquefy tool to drag this dude's. All right, there's no way to say this without it creating some kind of strange cross implication. I've done something unspeakable to this man's ass. My bad, dude. I'm sorry. All right, don't give him a hand kill ass. Don't give him a hand kill ass. Don't give him a hand kill ass. For the love of God, don't give him a hand kill ass. All right. I like to believe that I have a rather classy sense of humor, that we don't have any juvenile, you know, jokes or anything. World's flattest runner, no ass, no thighs, all calves. Yeah. God. Yeah, that's weird leg day gym. He goes to the gym every day, every other day, but like he always skips the thighs and ass. He does leg day. His calves look amazing, but he always skips thighs and ass, and it's starting to freak the rest of us out. Dude who intentionally goes to the gym to get chicken legs. Dude who wants to live out his hit randomize on the character creator screen and see what happens as a lifestyle choice. It's always admirable to change yourself to reach your ideals, and I think that's no different. There we go. Maybe I should also give him a belt somewhere. Okay, I think we're ready to begin doing the. Hmm. Hum. Okay, I'm gonna just try and clean up the sketch layer here. I don't know. I don't know if it'll take more time to clean up the sketch or to just redo with clean line art. I think I'm just gonna go clean line art. Very fuzzy kind of hair back here. This does also leave some ambiguity as to which pair of ears. I mean, obviously he's got working human ears, but I do want to have that ambiguity of like, are the cat ears just a decoration on the hat, or are they actual ears? Spoiler: they are actual ears. Peak character design is when they just have something weird about them. To be fair, to be fair to the dude who only builds his calves and not his ass or thighs, I do know that calves are actually very important in terms of running. I do think that they have like a lot of good important health effects if you work your calves. Maybe isolating them isn't the best idea, but it's not like he's doing anything wrong. Hmm. This needs to be more towards this side. There we go. And you know he's gonna have the little teardrops as well because he's a sensitive dude. The fuzzy eyebrows. And we can have a little bit of fuzz back here too. There we go. Yeah. I was talking about Neopets earlier. Like I said, I wasn't really a Neopets guy, but something I did get into for a little bit was Adventure Quest. I remember getting really into Adventure Quest for a little while. That's one of like the early net things that I do remember getting into. I wonder how Adventure Quest is doing. Like I do think that they're still up. I do remember seeing that they were still up a little while ago. But I don't remember a thing about my time with Adventure Quest. I've gone under citizen protection from my old Adventure Quest days. All right, I've forgotten my account. I've gotten, yeah, I do think there's still. Let me check something real quick. Let me Google this so we can set the matter to rest. Adventure Quest. No, because I did see some people actually try and scream, and I was about to say scream it, stream it. Oh my god, it's still real. It's still here. Hang on. Where's the browser window? Look at that. All their games are still going? Nah, come on. Artrix.com, Adventure Quest Worlds. Oh. Oh, this takes me back. Games. All right, what do we got? What's on the menu? Dragon Fable. I remember Dragon Fable. I remember Adventure Quest. Adventure Quest 3D. Now that's a new one. Adventure Quest Worlds. I remember that one. Mac Quest. I remember that one. The rest of these I've never seen in my life. Bio Beasts. Yeah, now these don't ring a bell, but how do I put this? Although I don't think I would go back to them, it is nice that they're still running. I don't know. It's like seeing an old amusement park. You like this is not at all a relatable thing. Least of all to me because I never grew up near amusement parks. But it's like seeing an old amusement park you went to as a kid still be active and functional. Oh right, it is after the death of Flash. They somehow sidestepped all that, huh? Good on them. Well, you know, as far as we know, they sidestepped all of it. They might have had some kind of consequences back in the day. Actually, no, there was one time I grew up near, like, for a very short amount of time, I did live near an amusement park, but the thing is, it was an abandoned amusement park, and we weren't allowed to go near it. So, yeah, strictly speaking, I grew up near an amusement park, but it was an abandoned amusement park that we had no business going into. I should have gone there, no, even still. Tetanus be damned. Childhood experiences are childhood experiences. Yeah, I remember one time we went with my friends to try and see if we could like see anything about it. But I just remember running into like this gate that had like a decent lock on it, so we didn't really know what to do after that. You know, we weren't like hoodlums or anything, so we weren't about to go busting down a lock just to satisfy our curiosity. In retrospect, it's probably a good thing I never became a delinquent. I don't think I would have had the blood for it, you know? Somebody would be like, "What you're saying is making me feel bad," and I'd be like, "Oh no, I feel bad. I'm so sorry." And you know what? What the hell? Let's give him a little flour on top. I think the only time I broke into a place was when my friend and I snuck onto a train waiting in the train yard at like 3 a.m. Nice. I mean, not nice. You should always be model citizens and obey the law. Just kidding. Nice, nice, nice. We were like 15. Yeah, no. I think the statutes of limitations is definitely passed. Strictly speaking, if no one got hurt, you didn't do anything wrong. That's my personal philosophy on like walking on around in places that you shouldn't be. If no one got hurt, you didn't do anything wrong. I need to work very hard to make sure that this little sippy cup thingy doesn't end up looking like a kazoo. How thick is my brush right now? 4 pixels, huh? Could I get away with 3 pixels? I think I could. Yeah. A lot of my teenage stories are just me wandering around in places which were just perfectly normal and legal to wander around in. Although I might and probably shouldn't have been wandering around by myself even then. There were a couple of summers where I got really into just wandering around the city. I lived in a place that, dude, that place ruined me in terms of my expectations for public transportation, because that place had some kick ass public transportation. I'm talking like metro stations wherever you needed them to be. It was one of those, planned cities, right? Like it was an area of the city that was planned from beginning to end. So they had really good transportation infrastructure. So you could just take a metro to just about anywhere, and with it, you could find a metro station within like 10 minutes walking distance. It was so good for me. Like if I just wanted to find a place to wander around and get lost in, I could do that and still be home without worry because I would just be able to find a metro station nearby. Those were the days. Yeah. Yeah, I would just like try to wander around, look for different things, and it wasn't the summertime, so I did this during the summertime. I went around wandering around the city in the summertime, so I would just kind of go out there, have some cash in my pocket for food, water, whatever I would need, and my Metro Pass, and I would just have a little backpack, and I would just walk my ass wherever the heck I wanted to go. And some of the best pictures of my life I took during those little wandering sessions. The best sunset of my life. The best sunset I have ever seen in my life. I saw when I was wandering around like that. I still I will see 1,000 more sunsets before I die, and I still will remember that one. It's just so awesome. Like I really do love wandering around like that. The longing, yeah. Those idyllic days of just me walking around, getting lost as hell. but kind of safe in the knowledge that I could just like take the metro back home if things ever got too tough. Yeah, it's one of those things where I don't know if I miss, the actual experience of it or just like the time period of it, Because that was like summertime when I was like 16, 17. So, I was kind of, I was out there killing it, right? I don't know. I do still like to explore around in places, right? The other day I met up with a friend of mine and in the place where I live, there are a lot of buildings which are connected through tunnels. So this is mainly a winter thing, right? So if it starts to snow outside, you don't want to get lost or locked out of your place. So there's a bunch of different tunnels you can take to move from place to place. And my friend was like, "Hey man, do you ever wonder what those buildings over there lead to?" Because we saw that in the shopping mall we were hanging out at, there was a tunnel to another place, another couple of buildings that we didn't really ever go to. So I was like, let's find out. Let's go and check it out. And I had so much fun. We didn't find anything, right? I think the most interesting thing we saw was like an old coin collection shop that opened only on reservation. That is an outstanding business move, by the way. I like that idea. We only open on request. Every other moment of every other day, we're closed. If you request it, though, we will open. That's such an interesting business model. And it makes sense for this one in particular, because you don't get a whole lot of traffic through old coin shops, right? I guess it's cheaper to keep the lights on only when you know you have a sale. True, true, true. There we go. And then like that. Like that. There we go. I like the idea of just running around with moon boots on the desert. Can't forget the little spike things here. I'm going to reduce the stabilization on the brush so that I can draw faster. Stabilization is such a funny feature of most drawing programs because in a lot of ways it's useful, but whenever you tone it down, it does feel like you have a slight Rock Lee versus Gara moment where you just take off your weighted clothing and start moving lightning fast because that is kind of what the purpose of it is. It's purposely slows down your brush strokes so that you can be more precise. I don't know. I find that fun. God. Oh, all right, all right, all right. So I read about something really funny. Apparently, a new trend, right, that's been popping up a lot is divorce parties. And I'm taking this as a straight quote from the article I read it from. The evil twin of the bachelorette party. So like once you get divorced, you have like a little get together with your friends and say, "Hey, yeah, we're done." We have that Luke Street Fighter 6 moment that's like, boom, divorced. It's just really funny to think about. I mean, good for them, I guess. Yeah, no, divorce parties. Absolutely real, absolutely bumping. It's a fresh business. I do want to kind of take a look inside the mind of whoever was like, hey, you know those like proceedings where like two people are severed forever from each other? Why not turn that into a shindig? It's like the same energy of those dudes who were a meme a while back who started doing like dances while putting away a casket at funerals. I miss those guys, honestly. I do miss a coffin dance meme a little bit. I felt like it brought a nice kind of memento mori vibe to the public zeitgeist that a lot of people didn't appreciate. Hey, don't mean to make light of your pain, but how about a divorce party? Well, that's a thing, right? People who throw the divorce parties are usually the people who got divorced, and you know, I'm not sure on like the over under on these statistics, but I'm sure most people who get divorced find it a relief rather than a heartbreaking process. So there is heartbreak, but there's also something to be happy about. I think to some extent. I don't know. It must be different for everyone. I imagine. I am, however, now imagining Ken from Street Fighter Six having a divorce party. Well, no, I don't think he actually got divorced. I still haven't caught up to that part in World Tour. Ryu, my wife. I lost my apes. I lost my kid, and now worst of all, my wife is throwing a divorce party with the Masters Foundation money. Ryu, Ryu, she's hiring. Ryu, she pulled a pump and dump scheme on my favorite crypto artifacts, and now she's having a divorce party. I'm not saying it would have been the ethical move, but I am going to say that if I knew how to pull off a crypto pump and dump scheme, I might have gotten into it where I am a man of lesser ethical values. I feel like I can do a good greasy salesman esque character impression. Listen, you got to do a lot of nasty things to get your hands on some cheddar. Making money is never a pretty or an easy thing. Well, no, sometimes making money is actually quite easy, but that usually depends on how many people you're screwing over. Let's see. Almost done with the spikes on the legs. Are we for time? If I had an opportunity to make a lot of money because of the GameStop stock debacle a few years ago, but on principle I hated the company, so I didn't. Fair enough. Yeah, not to mention, I feel like the GameStop stock debacle thing was one of those things where like it only made sense to you if you were one of the people who were like from every potential standpoint, what happened there didn't make sense. Except like through the most harsh logic possible, yes, it did make sense what happened because that's how economics works. But like from every other kind of sensibility check, like this is one of those things where like nobody expected this contingency. I think AMC actually, there are some people still hodling on AMC. I think I remember reading something about that the other day, but I didn't get through the whole article. God, I ca is it weird that like the days when the to the moon guys were all on these meme penny stocks? Is it weird that those were kind of the good days before cryptocurrency shit? Well, good is a bit of a stretch. Good is a generous assessment of the situation. Leov, hey, how are you, dude? But yeah, compared to the weird crypto cult thing that's been happening since then, it's weird to think of those as the good times. Taken in context, they were relatively harmless. Actually awake during the day. Let's go, dude! Congratulations. The good old times of 1 to 2 years ago. Jesus Christ, that was 1 to 2 years ago. Oh my god, that's right. The whole hodl thing happened during the pandemic, didn't it? Oh my god, that was like 1 to 2 years ago. What the fuck? God, the transitional period between like late 2020 and early 2021 was some of the wildest shit for me. Like because not only was I graduating from university at the time and I was like moving out, I was trying to find an apartment and shit, but also so much other bullshit was happening at the exact same time. I had like a tax thing to turn, like a tax class paper to turn in, like during the January 6th shit that was going down in the US. Unfucking believable, some of the shit that happened in that period. Crunchy wrists. I'm gonna take a sip of my soy drink. Huh. You know, the more I drink the meal supplement, the more I realize that it kind of doesn't taste like anything I've ever tasted before. Certainly, it has a sort of light vanilla ish flavor. It tastes like vanilla, but like it doesn't taste like anything else. It just tastes like vanilla. Is that weird? I feel like that's a little weird. It reminds me of that one Tumblr post that said like smell is one of those things that like nobody talks about. Like if you say like this place doesn't smell like anything, not only is that alarming, but it's also kind of a weird statement to make. If I went to somewhere and it just didn't smell like anything, I would be freaked out though. I don't think I have a particularly sharp nose or any nose at all to speak of. To be perfectly frank, if I'm gonna keep it if I'm gonna keep it 99, because I do be lying sometimes. Yeah, smelled non-existence. Okay, let's see, like that. Yeah, I don't know. Scentless things are the thing is, right? Even if you go somewhere, you still have scents. You still have like smells. There's very few places that don't smell like anything. Even your own house, right? It would smell like your own house does smell like something. You might just not be able to say explicitly what that is. You know, it's just kind of like your own ode to Pabs, I suppose it would be for my place. Would eau de Pabs be pronounced like eau de Paz due to like how the French thing works? Hmm. Let's see. Did like this. There we go. Little satellite phone thing here. What the hell? Let's make the antenna much longer. Or I guess it's more of a walkie-talkie. we go. Oh yeah, another weird thing that I found out. All right, did you know that the phrase Taco Tuesdays was copyrighted or trademarked? Apparently, it used to belong to this restaurant called Taco John's, and now, I think now it's either gone into public domain or somebody won a lawsuit settlement saying that no, a restaurant can't own the phrase Taco Tuesdays. But yeah, Taco Tuesdays was apparently like some kind of trademarked phrase. I've just been saying it like whenever I wanted. Yeah. The kicker though, the weird kicker to this fact though, is that apparently they for every state outside this guy owns Tuesday, yeah. For a solid 10 years or so, this man, I don't know how long he actually owned it, but for a solid long time, this dude actually owned the concept of Tuesday. God. Taco Tuesday. But yeah. But here's the kicker though. It's like become public domain in every state except New Jersey. Because in New Jersey, some other taco restaurant owns a trademark to Taco Tuesday. It's like a regional thing. Taco Tuesday exists everywhere except New Jersey now. Yeah, Taco John's is the name of the place that had the original trademark on it. So that's crazy to think about. I know I had a thing a while back that I should maybe bring back. I used to have this image macro of myself that said Friday Chief, or I am Friday Chief. I wonder if I should bring that back at any point. Is there any way I can work that into my lore? I have been meaning to make plans to make a season 2. Maybe I can work it in there somehow. Well, it's good to have ambitions. I think, like, even if you write, if you wanted, like, how do I put it? So long as you have the intention to do something, you will fulfill it one way or another, right? Maybe not in the way you're planning, but in some capacity. Like if you want to be, if you go to your job, but you wanted to take it easy that day, you might end up slacking a little bit, but that's mainly because you don't have the energy for it. You wanted to take it easy today, but even if fate obliged you otherwise, you still you still end up taking it easy a little bit because that's just what your body needs. As a random example. Yeah. What was that one phrase? If you don't make time for maintenance, time will be made for you. Something like that. Let's see. Okay, we're almost done with the line work. How are we for time? We're good. We're good on time. Still, I wonder how many other iconic phrases are secretly trademarked but just have not been released to the public just yet. There has to be a Wikipedia article for this. I know there is a phenomenon where if a word gets taken out of context enough, it'll eventually enter the public domain. For example, I remember that Google ended up becoming like a commonplace term, like let me Google this, and people weren't allowed to people were allowed to say that and use that as a phrase without paying royalties to Google, because everybody was like, yeah, no, it's again so commonplace that like you shouldn't. It would be ethically incorrect to let people trademark this. I think something similar happened for Kleenex. Yeah, that's something that. Okay, so when I was growing up, I read a book, like a children's kind of level book, where somebody mentioned he, she, they. Somebody handed me a Kleenex, and I was like, "What the fuck is a Kleenex?" Because I never heard of the brand Kleenex before. I didn't associate the brand with the actual item. And at the time, I had to like Google it and be like, "Hey, what the hell's a Kleenex?" And they're like, "It's a tissue, dumbass." I'm like, "Oh, okay." But for the longest time, I wondered why that was. That they just chosen to say they handed me a Kleenex instead of saying like, "Oh, they gave me a like something to wipe my nose with or something." And I realized that the reason the author probably used that phrase, assuming that it wasn't just like an unconscious thing, or maybe even if it was unconscious, conscious or unconscious, I think the reason the author used that phrase is because it was a children's book, and maybe a kid doesn't know like a complicated word like something like tissue or paper tissue, and instead, but they might know the brand name Kleenex. At least that was my justification for it at the time. The more I look back on it, the more I think that they should have just, used tissue instead of using a brand name. But yeah, I probably think about that one thing more than I should. I think cornflakes might be another one of those things that's like no longer copyrightable. I don't know. There has to be again. There is probably a Wikipedia article for this, or like a Wikipedia list for this. Okay, there we go. Okay, perfect. Then after that, we need to make the finger holes. And then after that, we need to make the arm spikes. Thankfully, I already have a little bit of the process down from the leg spikes. Let's just do it like this. Yeah. I don't know. When I from a lot of the stuff that I didn't understand as a kid, I have a hard time chalking some of it up to like what was things that I wasn't even supposed to know as a kid. What are things that like were genuinely weird to know as a kid, and like what to what extent my lack of understanding was a skill issue, basically. Like, is this because I didn't grow up in like an English speaking country, or was this just something that I should have known about but just didn't because not everybody has universal life experiences. I had a lot of struggles figuring that out growing up. I'm much better at it now, though. Now that I've been like, now that I'm older and slightly wiser, I have an easier time sussing out what exactly is and isn't something that we're supposed to know. It ain't perfect, but it's much better now. Knowledge obtained. Yeah, Dark Souls font. Knowledge obtained. Strange lore increased. Alright, let's drag this one over here, and then maybe one more set. Okay. This dude is starting to look more like a hedgehog than like a normal human. But that's fine too. Or rather a normal Catboy, I should say. It is a little strange. I feel like a lot of my drawings, like, I forgot the tail. Shit, I forgot the tail. Alright, we can fix this. We can fix this. Alright, where's the cactus cat? Alright. Did I end up drawing a tail in the in the initial sketch? I feel like I did for like the very first pass, but then I forgot it for like the sketch that I've been using so far. Oh my god, that I almost committed one of the classical blunders. Very nearly fucking beefed it. Saved it from the jaws of defeat. My god, that would have been a disaster. I wouldn't have been able to show my face in public if I'd forgotten the tail. Why is that such a consistent problem with me? This is like the fifth or fourth time I've forgotten the tail for like a character who has a tail. I remember it happened when I was drawing Asbestos from Arknights. Like, what is it about tails that makes me forget them? Is it because I draw a lot of waist up shots? Is that why? There has to be a reason. Why do I have object permanence issues but only for tails? Alright, we can do bigger than that. We can do bigger than that. Let me join these guys together. But yeah, I very nearly lost it all just now. My god. Alright, let's give him like a fairly long tail windup, you know? These dudes the cactus cats kind of have a very ankylosaurus type tail. You know, with the little barbs at the end. All right, I think now we just need the spikes for the left arm, and we should be good to go. Okay, I don't know what that visual glitch was just now, but I am not going to think about it. Okay, erase all of these. This one's allowed, this one's not allowed, this one's allowed, this one's not allowed, this one's allowed, this one's not allowed. Perfect. And then on the wrist pads, and we should be good to go. I am 90% sure this time. You know, I think that's everything we needed. Oh, the box on the other side here. There we go. All right, perfect. So with that, we have ourselves some tasty looking line art. All right, let's get some color in here. Oh, what am I going to do about the color? We need to speed run this. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Old Faithful Coolers. I cannot tell you how many times Coolers has saved my ass. Ooh, okay, hang on. We actually have like a warmer tone palette recommended for this guy. I'm kind of into it. I do want to incorporate some green, though. I do want to see if I can get a hit with green. All right. I mean, this dude just lives on a place that has red cacti. It wouldn't be that weird to have red cacti, right? I'm thinking for the hair, we go for this, like, bright red. You know, I was originally planning on having the hair be, like, I imagine a lot of green colors because of the cactus thing. But having it be red is kind of spicy. I kind of like it. I forgot to do the edges of the hair here. My bad. Okay, there we go. Okay, very nice. And then we can have this kind of like nice pink color for the inside of the ears. Oh, this is working lovely. Yes, okay, I see the vision. Let me close out this eyebrow real quick. This fuzzy caterpillar type of eyebrow. Also need to design a skin tone for this guy. I think dark skin would probably suit him. It makes sense, he would live near a desert. Maybe like tan lines. Maybe not though. I'll have to think about it. Yeah, on second thought, tan lines might be a bit too much work for the kind of time budget that we're looking at, so I think I'm just going to keep the single skin tone. It is a little funnier now that he's crying. Let's see. Black mask. I forgot about that. Well, too late for regrets. Having a black mask in desert would probably be kind of a pain. But I can't make it white because that would blend too easily with the eyes. I think it creates a nice distinction here. Am I on the wrong layer? Huh. Oh, I see. Hang on. There we go. Okay. Your boy was accidentally working on 2 different layers. A catastrophe waiting to happen. Oh, I forgot some lines back here. There we go. Alright, so I am going to make the singlet like sheer white. I for real tried to scroll wheel on the screen to zoom in like I was trying this. I mean, that does happen sometimes. I also I remember sometimes I was watching a stream and I couldn't read the text because I was watching it on like my phone or something. I was like, well, damn, let me zoom in real quick. And I'm like, oh yeah. I know that you can get like hunted by the Red Cross if you accidentally put a Red Cross on a video game piece of equipment. Is that true if you can't actually see any crosses on the equipment itself? Asking for a friend. Still the funniest shit that video games routinely break the Geneva Convention by accidentally having Red Cross symbols in their games. Red Cross on a white background breaks the Geneva Convention. Alright, we good then. Unless... No. I shouldn't. I do. Easy as pie then. I just won't have any on the white background. They didn't say anything about not having it on the borders though. Here we go. Let me take a look at these dudes' strap setup. Because this guy does seem to have black straps, even though that's probably the worst ones you could have for the desert. What do I know about desert running? Although I guess we could try to find some kind of alternative color for the parts here. Strap here. I'll figure out later if this would fit better as a different color. Having the plausible deniability of whether these spikes are natural or not is also kind of cool. Having all these spikes in this dude's red hair reminds me a lot of Knuckles the Echidna. Well, happy accidents. I'm not going to dwell on it too much. Besides, by the time we finish the... what do you call? Gradient mapping, we might actually have a different color on our hands to begin with. Yeah, we'll make these spikes white. Yeah, because I like the kind of balance that this gives, but I do feel like that red might be a little bit too strong, you know? Also, I'm just going to quickly do a different shade for the underside of the hat here for better readability. Oh yeah, that helps a lot. Okay, we'll have light pink kind of straw thing here. Okay, we'll go back to this, have a slightly brighter one for the underpits. This dude is a fighting game character? That is honestly what I'm striving for my character designs. It's good to know I'm on the right track. Now I'm just imagining a co-op fighting game where it's like you try to run to the end goal and you have different characters with different running strats. That's kind of what Free Jack was, but I don't remember how the development for Free Jack 2.0 is going. Man, once Free Jack 2.0 gets like a beta, I'm definitely going to try and get in there. Yeah. If you've never heard of Free Jack before, it was this parkour MMO racing game from that I played as a lot as a kid, and apparently very recently a team is trying to revive the game in Unity. There was a 2v2 fighting game announced a while back. Oh. 2v2. That is interesting. That is interesting. I do feel like 2v2 is a nice balance, you know? 3v3, that's almost a little bit too... Oh, Diesel Legacy. Now I remember that one. Yeah, that's the one with that rollerblading character, isn't it? Yeah, that's weird. I saw it announced a couple of times, like very quickly in succession. I don't know. I don't know what came of it after that. I already kind of have my hands full trying to be mediocre at Street Fighter 6. Yeah. Like I said, team fighting games introduce like a whole new element of concern for me because you can do some really cool stuff in there. Like, we all love looking at Marvel playing clips, but I feel like to me it just introduces like this very difficult to deal with element of uncertainty. Oh, I missed a little bit here for the leg spike. There we go. Okay. Are we done? Like, unless you get a damage, 2v2 is going to be an uphill battle if your partner dies and you're up against two people at once. Unless you get a damage or health boots. Yeah. Alright, I think that's this dude colored and ready to go. I'm gonna do some stuff with the gradient mapping to see if we can't do something that nice with the colors. Because again, that red is very strong and a little bit difficult to look at. Alright, let's see what we got. Okay. Hang on. I'm kind of into this one. Let's see what else we got, though. Let's see. Yeah, having it zoomed out helps to put it together. I like this one because of the difference in the ears, but I kind of... Alright, let's play around with this one a little bit, just for a little while. This one doesn't change all that much, but it does make some of the yellows pop out a little more. I kind of dig this one. I'm gonna see what happens. All right, first of all, hang on. First of all, I need to make the tail red because that makes more sense than having it be the skin tone. I think. I must admit, Catboys are not my specific area of expertise. Let's see. All right, we were using a darker color, I think, for this one. Honestly, I'm kind of a big fan of this one. Wait, actually, you know what might help? If I go to, instead of messing around with the gradient mapping, the contrast might be what's kind of throwing me off here. Maybe I just need to select that specific red. I do like it being like bright red. Just maybe less eye-searing. Yeah, like just that much. Like just that slightly less saturated, I think, and that's perfect. All right, I think we're done here. Go to work, everyone. Just sign this guy and we can get going. Let me get rid of the, what do you call, the color tone here, the color palette. There we go. Yeah, I like that. I like how this one came out a lot. Let me save this first. Okay. All right. Thanks to everybody who came by the stream. I think I'm just going to close things out here for tonight. I'll be putting up a schedule sometime tomorrow, but yeah, I'm probably not going to stream tomorrow, but I will put up a schedule. In the meantime, thank you all for stopping by. Have a great week, and I will see you all later. Bye.